man kneels in the dark. His arms are thrown open, white shirt glowing like it's the only light source in the whole scene. Because it is. There's a lantern on the ground, just one, and it's pointed straight at him like an interrogation lamp. Behind him, a pile of bodies, blood already pooling. In front of him, soldiers, rows of them. Look closer though, look at their faces, they don't have any. Napoleon's army crossed into Spain in 1808, promising liberation. What they delivered was occupation. Madrid rose up on May 2nd, citizens with knives and rocks against French soldiers with rifles. It didn't last long. The next morning, May 3rd, France responded the only way empires know how. Mass executions, all night. Anyone suspected of resistance, lined up and shot in the dark hills outside the city. No trial, no names recorded for most of them. Goya didn't paint this in 1808. He waited 6 years, waited until the war ended, until the French were gone, until it was, in my opinion, finally safe enough to say what he actually saw. Because Goya wasn't hiding during the occupation. He was the court painter for the regime that let this happen. This painting might be his confession. Francisco Goya was going deaf by the time of the uprising. An illness in his 40s took most of his hearing and, some historians believe, changed something in him permanently. He grew darker, more isolated, more willing to paint things no one asked him to paint. He'd spent years flattering kings and aristocrats, painting their comfortable faces in comfortable light. Then, he painted this. A Spanish court painter employed by the very monarchy that collaborated with the French. Turning around and painting French soldiers as a faceless killing machine, that takes something. Guilt, maybe, or fury, we may never know exactly which. Start with the man in white, arms out, palms turned upward. That's not a random pose. Look at his right hand. There's a mark on it. Some historians read it as a stigmata wound, the same mark associated with crucifixion. He's not just a victim, he's positioned like a martyr, like a saint. Now the lantern, one box-shaped light source sitting on the ground between him and the soldiers, throwing his shadow huge against the hillside. It's not natural. No moonlight does that. Goya built a stage. He built a spotlight, decades before photography, before film, and pointed it exactly where he wanted your eye to go. Behind the victim, more men waiting their turn, one covering his eyes, one already collapsed, blood soaking the ground beneath him, and then the soldiers, uniform, identical stance, rifles raised in perfect formation, not one face visible. That's not a painting error. Goya was too skilled for that. He erased them on purpose. Here's where it gets strange. Art historians still argue about why Goya erased their faces. The obvious reading: dehumanize the killers, make them the machine instead of men. But there's a colder theory. What if erasing their faces wasn't about hiding French soldiers? What if it was protection? Goya's protection. Painting French atrocities in 1814, right after the war, while Spain's restored king was busy purging anyone who'd cooperated with the French occupation, including painters. Faceless soldiers can't be identified as any specific regiment, can't start a diplomatic incident, can't get the painter arrested by a paranoid new king who trusted almost no one. What looks like moral commentary might also be survival. And that man in white, with the stigmata mark, historians have never confirmed his identity. No name, no record. Some believe he wasn't even real, a composite, an invention. Goya may have created history's most famous martyr, and he might not have existed at all. I need a second here, honestly. Every time I look at that lantern, I see it differently. Take a breath with me, then look again, because once you know what we just talked about, this painting doesn't look the same anymore. Look at the lantern again. It's not lighting a scene anymore, is it? It's an altar light. A spotlight built for a martyrdom that Goya may have partly invented. Look at the man's raised arms again. Christ on the cross, standing instead of hanging. The stigmata mark on his palm isn't incidental anymore. It's the entire argument of the painting compressed into one small detail. Look at the pile of dead in the foreground. One face turned toward us, eyes still open. Goya wants you to see him as a person, individual, named, even if we don't know the name. Now look at the soldiers again, with everything we know. Faceless, not because Goya ran out of detail. Faceless because facelessness was the safest, sharpest weapon he had. A political shield and a moral accusation, painted into the exact same brushstrokes. The monk figure near the group of prisoners, hands clasped, praying. He's not there for comfort, he's there as witness, as the only other human in the scene who still has a face. Everyone who kills has been erased. Everyone who suffers has been given a face. That's not documentary painting, that's argument. Step back from the hillside for a second. What Goya really painted isn't Spain in 1808. It's what happens every single time power decides some lives don't need names. Anonymous soldiers, following orders. Anonymous victims in unmarked graves. We've just changed the uniform since then. Drone operators, faceless bureaucracies, wars fought by remote control. In my opinion, that's why this painting still unsettles people 2 centuries later. It's not really about Napoleon at all. It's about how easy it becomes to kill someone once you stop seeing their face, and how easy it becomes to disappear once no one records yours. Goya knew that painting could not undo what he witnessed, but it could make sure no one forgot it happened. So here's my question for you. If the man in white never actually existed, if Goya invented a martyr to make his point, does the painting lose its power, or does it prove Goya's point even harder? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.